So today I'm here with Kelly McLean and her best friend Karen Latimer. And Karen Latimer, I say it, that sounds all very odd when I say that, as if she's done something naughty, but she hasn't. Karen has been through Kelly's life since they were 14, that's when they first met. And every up, down, in between, family fun, family drama, you have been part of, haven't you, Karen?
Yeah, all through it all.
How exhausting was that?
God, I don't know, I've done it.
Watch what you say.
So, Karen, tell me, how did you first meet?
We all lived on the same estate,
Right.
like say my block was here, Kelly's was there, and we had a play park in the middle, and so there was just a bunch of us all playing around, and then we just become really close.
Yeah, really good, really close
And it
mates.
went from there, didn't it?
Well, there's a great story in the book, and if you haven't read the book, why haven't you read Kelly's book? It's fantastic, and it's like it runs through like an express train. And you talk about being jumped
Yeah.
in the area that we're actually in now,
Literally,
Yeah.
down the
just
road,
round the
yeah.
corner,
Yeah.
And you said there was one person that stayed at your side,
Well, there was 7 of us,
Mm-hmm.
and 5 ran off,
right?
and the only one that stayed was Karen. And obviously, I used to, when you're younger, I used to walk about with my hands in my pocket, like a little bit of flash.
Yeah.
And they just literally come up towards me, and they literally pulled the jacket right over my head. So I couldn't obviously get up, my hands were stuck, and Karen just stood right in front of me, and the bloke actually hit you, didn't he?
You know when they say you see stars when you get punched, I literally,
Yeah.
my head just was like, all I could see was stars, but I didn't fall down.
No, because she knew if she'd have gone,
We had
I
to
would have been on
stand
my
up
own.
and fight,
Yeah.
So.
But the funny thing was, I turned around and said to the bloke, I'm going to get my dad. And he said, all right, then I'll be waiting. Now, he had no idea who my dad was.
Waiting. Kelly's dad. Yeah.
Apparently, he picked an iron bar up and he was sitting like on the wall,
Right.
waiting for me to come back. Everyone else knew who I was, but they never told him.
Right.
So every time we went past a block of flats, the group got bigger and bigger and bigger.
Right.
And anyway, I'm screaming up to my mum, Karen's screaming, saying I've got jumped and everything. And then obviously, Karen you shouted out, you've been hit, didn't you? And my dad went mental. He went, oh, is it Karen? And then he come down, my dad, and like I said, on the way back, the group got bigger and
There
bigger.
was just crowds following us just behind us.
It's like the Pied Piper.
Road,
Yeah.
And then when we got near to the bloke, apparently the metal bar just melted. And my dad only gave him a backhander because there was too many people watching, so he gave him a backhander. But he actually did go over the railings, and he went over 2 lots of railings and missed number 8 bus. So
And didn't he have a partner with him as well?
yeah, and when I looked round, my mum was steaming into the partner.
Yeah.
Bless her.
Yeah.
She was very sort of like timid, my mum. Like,
Right.
But if anyone hurts her kids or
Kids.
challenges them, then yeah, she'll turn. And things like that, but they that's not the finish of the story, though, is it? They started coming. To
Yeah,
your
they
work,
started.
didn't they?
I worked in the chemist at the time, just in the Roman,
Right.
and then they started coming into the chemist after, just knocking things on the floor, just shouting things out. There was like a few of them.
Right.
So then I obviously went home. I was told Lenny, oh, they keep coming in the shop, keep tormenting me and starting and everything else. So he said, right, okay, I'll come and meet you every night. Well, I used to work sort of say from 10 till 7. And all of a sudden, I'd look out the window and I thought, 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock.
Like, why is he here? Like, I've got 3 hours to go. Do you know what I mean? And he'd say, come on in, get your coat. You're going home now.
Dad used to get you
he used to
ready.
get me round the neck like that. And he'd say, right, come on, straight home, let's put a kettle on. Like that. He wouldn't let me move my head or nothing. Just used to
And what did your
literally-
boss say?
You just say, let go. I say, I'm really sorry, but it's come because of all the trouble. If he's come to collect me, but you don't really get like timings.
So
So
he
you say, go on, you can go.
he treated you like a daughter, didn't he?
Yeah, it was
Karen?
a big part of their family. We were just always together.
And you mentioned
Always
before that Lenny used to kidnap Karen, and just for cups of tea. Is that right?
I used to buzz up and I'd say, Len, is Kelly there? Can you tell her I'm downstairs? She'd say, Kel, Karen's here. Oh, she ain't ready, babe. Come up. And I'd go up, go through the street door, and I'd lock, lock, lock. And he'd say, oh, they're down the Roman. Go on, put the kettle on. It won't be long. And then obviously you never had phones or anything then.
No.
And they'd just gone out. I'd be there for like 6 hours. No, you don't want to go out. You don't want to go out and play. Make your uncle Len a cup of tea. And that would be it until they come home back from the Roman.
But what is it about you, Karen, that he really brought you into the family, didn't he? I mean, you were more than just Kelly's friend in the end. You were like a sister, weren't you?
Yeah, we was always together,
Yeah.
weren't we?
Yeah.
We was always...
I think as well with me and Karen, I think before we were born, I think we were destined to meet. We was meant to meet because she's not my friend, she's not my sister. She's more than that.
Yeah.
So I get joked. She's like a soulmate to me, really.
Yeah.
I mean, she promised my mum on her deathbed that she would be mum and dad to me, aunt and uncle, cousin, everything to them girls, and she's never, ever, ever let her promise down with you.
Never.
Oh, look, Karen. Look, you've got Karen going as well. They're both going.
Meant to be a positive one today, but
Yeah, she was lovely, Val.
but she kept all her promise, Karen. Every word she's kept.
Yeah.
And when Len was sick, Len had you reading his book to him, didn't he?
Oh, morning,
Is that
noon
right?
and night. Morning, noon and night. I had to read the book, didn't I?
And
So
what part did he want you to read, though?
Oh, I used to have to keep going over it and over it, and then he used to say to me, how many cells we got?
So we
How many
just
cells we got?
if we just explain to the audience. So he's lying there in bed.
Yeah.
He's
In
really
Avenue Road, yeah.
yeah, and he's not very well, and he had cancer, but he wanted you to read his book. He would fall asleep, but you weren't allowed to fall asleep. Is that right?
No, Lenny'd be up the top of the bed, and I'd be at the bottom of the bed like this, laying across, reading the book. And then, like, it used to be obviously tiring, do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It was draining anyway, because obviously he was passing away, he wasn't very well. So that's all draining, all that side of it. And I'd nod, obviously be nodding off, like, after, like, reading for 4 hours, very bored. But you couldn't say, I'm bored now, I'm going, do you know what I mean? No, sit there, read the book. So as I used to nod off, all of a sudden I'd go, like that, I'd have his toe stuck right in my mouth. So you're falling asleep, wake up, the toe be right in the mouth. Like, oh, Len, it's disgusting. He had the worst feet in the world.
And as sick as he was, didn't he have you? He really had his mind on how many books he was selling.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
wanted to know that all the time,
So
yeah.
he'd have you calling up, wouldn't he, to
Yeah.
find out the
I knew
sales?
that, you know, you got the number at the back, the barcode at the back. I
Yeah.
knew that off by heart by the time. The amount of times I had to read W.H. Smith's here, there, and everywhere. Because he was thinking, at that time, he was just thinking, it not for him, because what he obviously for Val.
Yeah, he was thinking of his family,
yeah,
wasn't he?
And the yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I knew that number off by heart. Didn't I? So, okay, I'll come up and give me a break, say night.
About the time when it was funny because me and my mum went out to get pie mash for my dad,
Right.
and obviously we were
Oh,
gone a
yeah.
little while, and Karen was like looking after him. Now he's starving, so he wants the pie mash.
Right.
So he claps on the bed and said to Karen, "Quick, get Val. I think it's time."
Yeah, he went, I'm really ill. I said, Len.
Did you think it was time? Did
Yeah,
you
and
think-
he went, I can't, Carol. Ring Val and say, Val, Lenny, he's passed out. He's across the bed. I don't know what to do. She say, tell him to start acting an idiot. Like, I'll be home in a minute. She went, Carol's getting you at it. Just wants his pie mash. And I went, I'll be home in a minute with the pie mash. She went, oh, like, I went, no, you shouldn't do that because I've nearly had a heart attack now. Do you know what I mean?
What was
Sat
it?
right up.
What was it about you that he thought he could really take a lend?
He just,
He
like,
just
we
see you
yeah.
still as like being 14.
Yeah, no
didn't
matter
he?
what age I got
Yeah.
to,
Yeah.
I was always that little girl, you know what I mean?
And so when he passed, you were with the family, weren't you?
Yeah, we was all
And
there. Yeah.
and the family were his brothers and sisters came upstairs to say goodbye, did they? And then
They
they went
were-
back down.
Yeah.
And then you said it was just
It was just me, my brother, my mum and Karen. That was the only ones left in there when he passed away. Because that's who we would have wanted round him.
yeah. And then when things obviously got really, really bad, and you found out that your mum a few
Yeah.
years later was suffering as well.
Yeah.
What was it your mum had?
My mum had lung cancer as well.
Yeah.
And it went into her bones and her liver.
The person you relied on again
Yeah.
is Karen.
Yeah.
So
Unfortunately, I wasn't diagnosed either at the time with bipolar, so I was very hard work to be around and to live with. And you know, she's been there. She's stuck by me. You know, Scott stuck by me. My 2 girls, and you know, that's all I need around me really.
Karen, as somebody that comes into the family but then can go home again, because at the time we didn't know that Kelly's dad had bipolar, so he really did suffer because he never got any help, and he would have been misunderstood all his life, and he was fighting all those demons in his head. Was there ever a point that you looked at Kelly and you thought, they're so similar? Is there something more?
Yeah, she's Kelly. Yeah, there was so many similarities with Kelly and Lenny. Like even the way she would have to check herself, like her clothing, like 400 times before going out, and she would just ask constantly, stuck in my brain, am I right at the back? I had to be behind her and make sure that everything was all right.
I always
right
thought I sat in something.
Yeah, she had to go back. She had to do things over and over. She had to check the switches, or she had. But
so like her dad. So, did you ever think there's something more? This obsessional behaviour.
Sorry, I think everyone just thought that obviously we were born like
Yeah,
it, just a little bit mad and.
Because Lenny obviously had his funny head, and Kelly just took completely after him in that way.
So did you find that with Kelly, was it exhausting at times with Kelly?
Oh, it was hard work. We used to sort of, even down to going on a night out, so, like, even when Kelly was started, because she was obviously obsessed with everything, food, everything.
Yeah.
Everything, because she had anorexia as well at the time, but none of us at the beginning knew how bad things was. But I'd be ready for, say, Christmas Eve, say, and I'd say to my mum, oh, I'm going round Vales now, going to call Kelly. The phone would go. She'd say, do you mind if we don't go out tonight? I'd say, why? I'm just about to leave, because we just used to have to cut round the landings. It was like just a 3-minute walk. And I'd say, why? Well, I'm just about to leave. She'd say, no, you can still come round, but I've had a bit of Dundee cake. And I can't go out now, so that was that.
Really?
Get our dress, get the pyjamas on, say, all right, Mum, I'll see you in a bit. Just go around Kelly's for a little while.
Well, I feel, because I've had a slice of cake,
she'd be
I'd feel
like
fat.
Yeah. So all of it is out of context, isn't it? All of it.
Yeah.
So that is exhausting.
Yeah, so...
It's like an addictive personality, so like if I do anything, I do it to the extreme. So obviously I wanted to lose a bit of weight, did it to the extreme. Yeah, and obviously got ill with it. And then, once you're ill with that illness, if you've never had it, you wouldn't understand, but it's so hard. And I can remember when my dad obviously was in prison when he got nicked for the murder. I can remember coming in from work, and my mum had Indian, Chinese, everything, all different takeaways in there, and I had a plate of lettuce. And I was looking, thinking, but I want that.
You describe that really well in the book, actually, about looking at everybody else eating.
And then my mum said, well, have some then. I said, no, I can't. She said, well, then there's your lettuce. I said, but I don't want that. In the end, my mum got up, she slung the table against the wall. All the takeaways went flying and run up crying. I rung up and laid on the bed with her. And then about 10 minutes later, Karen come up and she said...
I'm going through the bin, though, not really. Where's the takeaway?
Karen said, are we going to order another takeaway? So everything...
I was like, fancy me getting a friend like that. I'm loving my food, love everything. She's like, don't want to eat.
Yeah, it was, every time there was a sad bit indoors, we would sort of like...
Turn it around.
Yeah.
But so, Karen, you sort of balanced it all out in a sense, didn't you? You know, you're almost like Len's wife, balancing the family out. Okay, if I take you back to when you said about your dad going into prison, why did he go in? Just to explain that for the viewers.
Well, he was working at the Hippodrome at the time, and there was an incident in there.
Right.
And he slapped someone, but obviously the bloke was then seen going out, seen urinating over great big lorries, children, like teenagers and things like that. And obviously, I can't say too much about it, but obviously they wanted to charge my dad with the murder of it.
Right.
So he was looking at obviously 25 years. After a long trial, we got found not guilty, but he was found guilty of, I think it's GBH Section 18.
Right.
I think that's to obviously charge him with something.
Yeah.
Because he was on remand for so long. He was on there for a long time, because when he got found guilty, he only had to do another 3 months.
Because he'd been in so long.
Yeah, so he only had to do that, But at the time, that's when I was suffering as well with anorexia.
Right.
So obviously, a lot of it could have been a blur for me, because I was obviously ill myself.
So Karen, how did the house feel when Len was away in prison? What was the atmosphere like?
Relaxed.
Was it more relaxed?
Peaceful.
Because in the book you describe it as actually your mum got a break. Everybody sort of got a break, although your mum had to visit.
Val was there every single day. But,
explain the two different sides of Len that there could be.
You know what? People saw him on the outside, but he was completely different indoors. I mean, we'd play hide and seek. Didn't we?
I mean, if he'd let you in, and you see the other side of him, it was a completely different side to how the public
he was much
see him.
softer at home. I mean, he put on obviously he was an hard man, of course he was, but he put on that on the outside as well, because that was his reputation and everything. But people didn't see like the side with all the charities that he helped, all the kids that he helped, raising money for minibuses, and like then when we were at home, like walking about in his purple pants and
no, but you don't really
like
hear.
hide and seek,
wearing a Christmas
joking,
hat. It never fit him, did it? He just used to rip it and put it aside.
It and put it on his head. Saying to me, "Oh, go round and get a nice kebab for me, you and Val. And on your way back, if you get run over, make sure you tell it where. Go straight to 13 Strand Road."
Did you feel protected by him?
Oh yeah.
And was there ever a point that he scared you?
No.
Never.
No, I mean you knew. I mean, he had his temper. He'd scream and shout indoors for, like, on the phone or for anything else, and obviously he was scared. He looked scary.
Yeah.
But never would be ever intimidating. Like he was like to us.
Because at the end of the day, everyone like sees him. Oh, look, Lenny McLean, the governor. But we didn't see him like that. He was just my dad.
Yeah.
And obviously to Karen, he was really close to Karen. So we weren't really fascinated over it, was we? Because at the end of the day, it was nothing to us.
People would be like, "Oh, what you know Lenny McLean, you know this, you know." But like, he was my mate's dad.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Just, you know, we weren't like that.
So describe, because I know your dad loved to go to the coast.
Yeah.
Yeah, which meant that everybody went to the coast. Right, describe one of those days at the coast.
Oh, he's loved Clacton.
What did he ask you to get of a night?
Oh, we'd have all nice Chinese, we'd have our donuts. Oh, I loved it there. We used to love it, but it'd be all going down in the car, it'd be all singing, what an happy and all that, here we come, all clacky, we're going to clacky.
And she'd like to get in their car because they'd always stop. Is it?
Yeah,
the little chef or big chef?
Yeah.
And they'd have a great big fry up, and I would just drive past.
He used to say to me, "Who are you travelling with?" I say, "I might as well get in with you and Val." He'd say, "Why?" I say, "Well, she drives straight past the little chef, didn't she? I can get in the car with you."
But didn't your dad have a big fry up before he got in the car on his way to Clacton?
Oh yeah.
And then he stopped again.
Oh, he'd have another one.
Have another one. And then we'd get our donuts, and we'd have Chinese on the night.
Yeah.
Is this every weekend?
Yeah.
I mean, in the summer?
Yeah. Because they had their own caravan, so yeah.
But what did you all do down there in Clacton?
Well, when my dad used to pull up, funny enough, everyone used to go in their caravans and lock the door, didn't they? But it wasn't sort of like horrible or aggressive down there, but they'd lock all the doors. And
As you do, yeah.
And then he used to travel from there to go and work on the door. And as he would leave on the car, they'd all come out, all their deck chairs.
Would go out.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And then we could sort of relax. Me, Karen and my mum could
We'd
just
have a nice peaceful night.
Yeah.
Three of you. So you never tread on eggshells? No, nothing like that. Did you ever go to the Hippodrome, Karen?
Yeah.
Loads of times.
Oh, lovely, eh? You
Straight
didn't have
at
to
the front, straight in.
Bottles of champagne waiting,
tables.
Oh, so tell us a few of the perks then.
Oh, we'd never ever queued up for a club. For all the years of growing up, obviously we was out in all the clubs, never ever did we queue up, straight to the front, bottles of champagne waiting as soon as we got in, tables, there, wasn't it?
Did anybody ever come up to you not realising who you were and give you a bit of trouble?
That year, I don't know, was we out for...
It was me, wasn't it? Some bloke was chatting me up. Right. And I wasn't interested or anything, and I suppose I was quite rude. I answered him back, and then he pulled my hair right down to the ground. So I went and got the other bouncer, because I knew if I got my dad, you know, it would have just been chaos. And the bouncer got hold of him and chucked him out, and he said, "It's your lucky night." He said, "'Cause her dad was Lenny McLean," and that. But yeah, we didn't see him anymore. He was gone. That was it.
Well, I'm going to take you away from the doors, and we're going to move it ahead of time. So when he went for his audition, was it the Knock?
I think so,
Yeah, it was the Knock, and this was like the turning point.
Yeah.
Because obviously all the way through growing up, he did like to be filmed, didn't he? He liked to be filmed. He liked to be in front of the camera. When he went for that, and there were a lot of other actors waiting.
Yeah.
But when he came out of the audition, he told all the other actors he got the part, didn't
right,
he?
yeah.
And they all got up and went. Did you see a change, Karen?
Oh, he loved it when that with that. Yeah,
in the dynamics.
He always wanted to be noticed for not just for fighting.
Yeah.
He always wanted to be noticed for something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As well. So when he got into acting,
you couldn't get through the door.
Yeah.
But I can remember going over Vicky for a photo shoot, and this bloke stopped him and he said, "I recognise you from somewhere." And my dad said, "Where's that?" He said, "That's it, I got it, the Knock." And he was so over the moon. His face, his smile was like a Cheshire cat. He absolutely loved it because he didn't want to be recognised for being like Lenny McLean, the Guv'nor. He wanted to be recognised for his acting. So he was so happy for that.
He was over the moon.
It's a shame because he would have gone so far. He would have been in America now.
So when he actually got Lock, Stock, how was he when he found out he was going to be in that film?
Oh, he loved it. And do you know what? That is the perfect film for him. The perfect character. And everything. I just think he pulled it off so well.
Yeah, he loved it, didn't he? He was over the moon with that.
Did he change? Did it go to his head?
Not really, did he? No.
He used to just like...
when he used to do adverts, we used to have to sit there and count the adverts.
For the money?
Yeah, we used to have to count it when you go, right, I've earned this much tonight, I've earned that much. He loved it.
Yeah, because in the old days, I don't know if they still do it, every time it comes on, you can count and think, right, I've earned this much tonight.
Yeah.
So did your dad add up how much he earned?
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, then it finishes, doesn't it? And he went,
my
advert's not on no more.
Yeah. And you think, oh God, all night, every night. You could just sit there in your underpants having a Chinese, but you're earning money, aren't you?
Yeah, watching himself on the adverts.
So there was no change in his personality, but how lovely from him to be able to switch and go into the acting profession. And like you say, so cruelly.
It was just a natural because they'd give him a script and he said, "No, I don't need that." He said, "I've got my own script."
Did he ever get nervous on a big set?
No.
And he worked well with the directors?
Yeah, they loved him. Yeah.
Did they?
Yeah, because I think
when he always just joked. A lot of the time he joked a lot, didn't he?
I think when he went for the Knock, I think one of them didn't want my dad and the other one did.
Right.
And obviously then he got, I think he was in the second season as well of it, yeah.
So he went from strength to strength really with all of that. Where do you think your dad would have been had your dad not got ill?
Oh, bless. He would have carried on being in, obviously, more movies with Guy Ritchie, I believe. And I think he would have been in America now, definitely, 100%. Bless him, yeah. It's a shame. I think your life is mapped out from you from the minute you're born. And obviously, I think my mum and dad, unfortunately, they weren't destined to see old age.
But you think about it, your dad came from a background where he was beaten, he was treated appallingly. You add that with that he suffered from bipolar, so all his life he tried to manage it as best he could, but then to end up going through all of that and then being an actor, he actually, to survive all of that, he did so well, didn't he?
He must have, it's like me when I was younger, I was suffering in silence. And I believe that's what he was doing, suffering in silence. Yeah. Because I also believe that I was just born like my dad. It weren't until I got to 42 that realised something was wrong. And
it takes
40,
2 years, doesn't it?
Yeah, 40, and it takes 2 years to diagnose you with bipolar. And I've got traits of emotional unstable disorder as well. And I believe that, like you say, like my dad had it, and it was a shame. But yeah, once he started acting, I think that side of him sort of calmed down a little bit.
Yeah. And was it a relief for you when somebody actually said, put a label on, in a sense, I don't really like that, but said this is what it is? Did that just was such a relief.
Oh yeah, once I knew, you know, that there was a problem, it was, you know, it was nice, but it has took 8 years to get my prescription, my medication spot on.
Yeah, because you've had ups and downs with it, haven't you?
They put me on one medication where I put on nearly 2.5 stone. It was the wrong medication. Makes you gain weight. It makes you like a zombie. I would literally get up at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and think, I can't bother cooking anything to eat. So I'd eat a packet of biscuits, a bar of chocolate, and you know. Then I thought to myself, this is not the way to live. Yeah. So I went back, and I explained to him as well when I was younger that I suffered with an eating disorder. So now there is a thing on the computer. I must not go on no weight gain tablets at all. But they put me on a new one. I think I've been on that for a couple of years now, and I'm just a completely different person. I'm easy to live with. I want to live. I love life, and I'm thinking what's going to happen the next day. What chapter am I going to see next?
As opposed to not wanting to go. So, but you've got twins.
Yeah.
Like most of us, just having one child to look after can be exhausting. But twins is like... So you've been fighting all of this before it was diagnosed, and you've been bringing up 2 girls who I have met and who are gorgeous and are just sitting right behind the camera. They will talk to you later. They're pretending they're not here, but I can see them. How has that been?
Do you know what? They're such good girls. I think it's easier to actually have. I think it's easier to actually have twins rather than have one child, because once they got to a certain age, they started playing with each other and things like that. So we then could sit back, because Karen actually moved in with me when I had big twins. Because obviously she dealt with one baby, I dealt with the other, and then we'd swap.
Right.
But we actually adopted Karen to be their auntie. The girls absolutely love Karen. Official auntie.
Yeah. Oh, how lovely. Oh, how lovely that you've had that, because it can't have been easy. So imagine if you hadn't had Karen.
Oh yeah, God, it would have been hard. I mean, you used to wake up in the middle of the night and they're both screaming, so you trying to get one asleep, then the other one's screaming, so you needed 2 people there.
Because how old were the girls when your mum passed?
They was 18 months old.
Yeah, you see, so you know, you need your mum. Yeah. So
I also must add that I've got 2 other children in my life as well, and they're here also, so we'll video them in a minute. So that is Joshua and Chloe.
Please tell us the story.
So the reason that they're in my life is sadly we lost their mum to breast cancer. So I promised her that I'd always be there for her children, and I have been, I hope, and I love all 4 of them more than life itself, and I'll always be there for them. And I must add as well, they have got a fantastic, wonderful, brilliant dad, Steve, and he has done so well, and I'm so proud of him, and I hope he's proud of himself as well. He's come through a lot.
So you've got this huge family, really.
I have now, I've got, so in my eyes I've got like 3 daughters, and I've got the son I never had.
Yeah, you've got just the one boy.
And obviously Karen.
yeah, exactly. So you have got this enormous support around you.
Yeah, I have.
A big family.
Yeah, that's the family that I need.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't need no more. That's it. They're all there for me. Obviously Scott as well. They're all there for me. And
how old are the kids? All 4 of them. How old are they?
Right. So my 2 I know are coming up to 18 in May. Chloe is. How old are you, babe? 16. And Joshua? 14. Yeah.
All right. So it's a handful, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
What do you think?
They're all good kids.
Well, I was looking at the pictures and I'm thinking of your girls. I was really shocked when you said, because it's 2 years ago since we filmed last,
exactly,
isn't it?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking of the girls being really small. I couldn't believe it when they're going to be up and away soon. How are you going to feel about that? Should they leave home?
Lovely.
Train them in.
No, lovely. Nice break.
Karen, how are you going to feel?
Oh, I'm not going to be able to survive it. I don't want them going out. I'm just going to be panicked. They've already said to me, Karen, when we're 18 and we're going out, we're going to block you. So you can't, because they know how much I panic and worry about them. So I'm getting blocked. Yeah. So I don't know where they are or anything. I said, no, I'll be following you.
They visit Karen for a week.
Right.
They've been at Karen's 3 weeks now. Oh, I love it. Nice little break.
Kelly! What do do you do with yourself?
Oh, I love my own company. So
Yeah.
I train and
Sits
walking
there
my dogs.
crocheting.
Oh yeah, I sit there knitting or crocheting. I love it. It just keeps me from. Gets me sitting down.
Are you turning the girls' rooms around and just sort of tidying it all up?
Oh
and-
yeah, it's nice and tidy.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
it is. It's all tidy indoors. I don't want
Wow.
anyone messing it up.
Are they going to recognise it when they get back in?
No.
No. So, Karen, if I had to ask one memory that really stands out for you, a really lovely positive memory, what would it be?
Probably around Christmas and everything when we all used to be together. We used to wake up in our own houses, obviously, and we only lived like round the landing. So then I'd go round Kelly's and would be with Lenny and Val, and then Kelly, you'd come back to my mum and dad's, and then like we'd stay at mine. But Christmas used to be lovely. It used to just be fun,
All family.
and all of us together, just laughing and joking, and
it'd be two families. So like Karen said, I'd spend it with my family, and then I'd come back and spend it with Karen's family.
Yeah, and I think we should put a big shout out to your family,
Yeah.
Karen, who have put you on loan and given you over to the McLean family, really.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
I would like to say thanks to Lil for letting us use
Yes.
her flat tonight, and also for being there for me. Gonna get upset here. When I've needed a mum, she's always been there for me.
Lovely Lil, and thank you so much, because this lovely lady, Karen's mum, has allowed us to use her. There's so many of us in her house today.
my mum was super close to Val. We was all
Yeah.
close, all growing up, so it was like just loads of us all together. So
Well, now that I've got you crying, which is always it's a good spot to leave, we'll leave it at this, and I think it's time to bring the kids in, isn't it, really? Yeah?
Okay.
Right, Kelly, you are surrounded here. Surrounded. Who have we got?
Okay, so we've got my two beautiful children. So we've got Prudence and Ruby. Also got the beautiful Chloe, and my handsome Josh. So these are my friends' children, and these are my children. But they're all my children. I love them all.
Josh, you being the only boy, does Kelly spoil you?
In a way, like, she'll give you treats, but she'll always offer you money if you're walking past to buy stuff in the shop. She's like family, so she's always there if you need to speak to her. Always, if you're upset, always just go to Kelly.
Oh, bless them.
Oh, and do you feel safe and secure around Kelly?
Yeah, it's just like having your own family when you're around her. So.
And whose house is the fun when you stay over?
Yours.
So how often do you stay over at Kelly's?
Probably like every maybe month.
Yeah.
Yeah?
He used to stay a lot longer, but obviously where he's getting a little bit old now, he goes out with his mates. But any chance that we can do it, and then he'll come over and stay.
Chloe, how does it feel being able to go over to Kelly's whenever you want and be part of this big family?
It's good 'cause, like, I can go there if I need to talk to someone and, like, if I need anything.
Is Kelly a good confidant? Can you just trust her and tell her your secrets, can you?
Yeah.
Oh,
And I cut her hair for her. I make sure all her hair's all cut nice. I'm a bit bossy sometimes.
No, it's okay.
Oh.
Can Kelly be strict?
Not strict, just...
If it's
Like-
noisy, I'll tell you off now. Come
Yeah.
on, noisy. Shh.
Oh, and so we'll speak to the girls now here. What has it been like growing up? Because I know it's not been easy, because obviously your mum, until she was diagnosed, and didn't have any help at all with this bipolar, and I know that you had Karen in your life, but how has it been? Has it been tough?
Not really. I think that, like, when my mum wasn't on, like, the medication or whatever, I don't really fully remember. I was quite young, so, like, but it's just like...
Do you get obsessed with things, don't I?
Yeah, I just painted our whole room.
And the whole of upstairs.
Yeah, the whole upstairs is completely different.
I guess if you haven't known any different, though, this is perfectly normal, isn't it?
Yeah, really.
You go out, you come back, and your room's completely a different colour or something like that.
How
isn't
long
it?
am I in there cleaning up for, though?
Hours.
Hours and hours.
She says to us to do it, and then she comes in and finishes it, so she may as well start it.
So has your mum been able to keep the memory of your grandparents alive to you? Do you know the whole family history and why people are so intrigued about and still fascinated by your granddad.
Yeah, well, Karen and my mum always tell us stories. It's quite funny, like, stories. And like about his boxing and stuff like that. So we always get told loads of stories about everyone.
And do you ever watch your granddad, any of old footage?
Some stuff my mum showed me.
Yeah?
I did sit Ruby in front of the telly when she was younger, and I showed her the one that was on the news because my girls are so lovely. All 4 of them are lovely. They've not got that nasty streak in them. And Ruby was getting picked on at primary school. And obviously they're primary kids, I can't do nothing about it. And I used to say to her, you have to, you've got to show that you're not, show you're a bit more tougher. So I stuck her in front of the telly and showed her one of my dad's boxing fights, and I said, you've got a bit of him in you. I said, so come on. I just probably don't remember that, she was so young.
Well, you see, now that you're older, are you more interested in that side of your family?
I always like to hear stories.
Yeah.
Like, it's always nice. They always tell us really funny stories about like what they were like and stuff like that. So it's always nice to hear.
And also, when we watch a programme from America, we watched one, didn't we? And The Arrow, and Vinnie Jones was in it.
Oh, yeah.
And it was funny because I said to the girls, if my dad still would have been alive, that would have been the kind of character that he would have played. And they was like, yes, because there was a nice looking boy in it, weren't there? They could have met him.
So what do you think it is that you have learnt, Kelly, from your past that you've been able to bring to the girls' childhood?
Morals, I think, proper East End values, that they follow and things like that. Obviously with me as well, having bipolar, obviously one of my children are probably going to get one of them traits. I think it's Ruby.
I would agree.
Yeah, Prue's sort of like a bit like Daddy, but like Scott. But Ruby's got a lot of my traits, so I have experience with that because obviously of myself. But my mum unfortunately didn't know how to handle it, so I've got that behind me. I think that I can help Ruby. But yeah, I think things that I've learned from my childhood is just the morals and how you treat other people as well.
Now, I know we've talked an awful lot about your dad today, about your granddad, but your mum has been through such a life, and you have to be really tough to have achieved. And I think often that can be forgotten. It can be forgotten. So you must be, tell me, are you proud of your mum?
100%.
Yeah.
She's by far the best mum ever. I love her so much, and her book and everything she does, it's just like really, really good.
She's quite a force, Kelly, isn't she? What a strong lady.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised you're proud. Oh look, Kelly's going. So Chloe, Josh, are you proud of Kelly?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so proud.
Yeah. Do you like hearing her stories about what she's achieved?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, and she keeps on going, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Because Joshua, he does. He researched a lot of stuff, and then he'll text me and he says, "Did your dad really do this? Did your dad really do that?" And I go, "Yeah," and you can't believe it, can you, babe?
Yeah.
Do you think your dad would be proud of you, Kelly, and all of these lovely children that are surrounding you today?
Oh, 100%, yeah. Because I know that if it would have been him here, he'd do exactly the same. I'm there. I'm there for all these children, all 4 of these children. I love them all more than life itself, and I do anything to protect them.
So Kelly, I'm just noticing a lovely bag there, 3 hearts on the front. Where's that from?
It's called the Free Love Art bags. They're up and coming bags. If you've not seen the website, then you need to check it out. It's absolutely amazing. You can fit so much in there. It's unreal. I've got a massive makeup bag in there, my phone, my cards, everything.
I love the design on the front as well. What's it made of?
Leather, real leather. It's absolutely so soft. It's really, really nice. Also, I think we're going to put the website at the end. If anyone would like to purchase one of these bags and they put a code in, which is Kelly McLean 10, we'll get 10% off.
And it's a decent size, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I mean I've got a great big one as well, like a massive one, but this is like a shoulder bag, but it's not small. Like I said, you can fit really a lot in it.
So it's a proper size, isn't it?
Yeah, it's lovely, yeah.